Kiss my breath.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, incredibly gutsy win. Just a big-time gutsy win by our guys. And but I'd like to thank Gary Stokin and Chick-fil-A for having us in this ball game. It's been an honor to be here and represent the ACC. And just a great experience, especially for our football team. It's a great win. I'm very proud of our team and really for the preparation that we had all summer, all fall camp. This was a very difficult game to prepare for. I mean, incredibly difficult. And I'm so proud of our coaches for the job that they did in the preparation process and staying focused. Our guys, I'm proud of them for showing up. They showed up ready, and you know, we made some big plays, created some momentum at times, but really this game, you know, puts a lot of wind in our sails as we kind of kick the season off. But as I told our guys, it's only a beginning. That's all this is. It's just a beginning. All we really did was accomplish our first goal, and that was to win the opener. That was the first goal. We accomplished that. We got a long season. We got a lot of work to do. In fact, I tell our guys all the time, you know, our toughest opponent is Clemson. And we probably lost to Clemson tonight, to be honest with you. We made enough mistakes to lose the ball game. But that's why it was such a gutsy win, because they overcame those mistakes. I mean, some just critical mistakes that you know, are tough to overcome, but our guys did that. And you know, I'm awful proud of a lot of guys. I told them in there in the locker room, we found out a lot about a lot of our players because, you know, as I've said many times, you don't have preseason games, and all you can really gauge your team on in college football is practice. And there's only so far you can get with the evaluation process in practice. At some point, you got to go play a game, and you know, and then you play a game of this magnitude, and you start as many sophomores as we started, and as many young players playing key roles for us. Found out a lot about those guys. You know, I felt good about what I had seen in practice, but can they take it to the game field? And they definitely did that tonight. There's no doubt about that. You know, but again, we accomplished our first goal, win the opener. We were a better team than Auburn tonight. That's really all we know about our team. We got a lot of work to do, a long way to go. And as far as I'm concerned, the season starts tomorrow. And our focus will be just to try to learn and grow from this tape, now that we finally have some performance on video of ourselves that we can learn from. And I really look forward to the next 2 weeks in the Valley. I want to thank our fans. I thought they were awesome. I don't know how many people were here tonight, but it was an incredible crowd and just a ton of fun to be a part of. I thought our quarterback, Taj Boyd, was phenomenal. He had some really critical mistakes, you know, some procedure issues. Had a big play at the 2 minute before the half, and he's got guys in motion before they're set and hit nuke, but man, what a gutsy performance. One of the things we've talked to him about is not taking sacks, making plays with his legs, and I don't have any doubt that was the difference in the game tonight from that standpoint. He had a career high rushing, Taj did, and really proud of him for that. Andre Ellington, career high 238 yards rushing, but all the credit goes to them boys up front. We had some young bucks. You know, Shatley's never taken a snap in the OL. Giff is, you probably count my hands how many snaps he's played. You know, Brandon Thomas and Dalton's played a good bit. David Beasley, I don't know if he's played 3 snaps in the 4 or 5 snaps in the offensive line.
45.
45, David Beasley total. Yeah. And man, what a performance by our offensive line. 320 yards rushing. You rush the ball for 320 yards, you win the turnover margin, you're probably going to win a bunch of ball games. And you know, so all the credit goes to those guys up front. I thought Catman was money. He was huge for us. Really, really just clutch. It was good to see him get back off to a good start against these guys. And Nuke Hopkins, you know, career record, 13 catches. You know, I know there's no bigger fan, and nobody probably celebrating more right now than Sammy Watkins back in Clemson. And everybody talks about Sammy, nobody ever talks about Nuke for whatever reason. Maybe they'll, learn to say his name correctly on TV now. But he's a great ball player, and had a heck of a night tonight, just an ultimate competitor. But again, I thought our offensive line was physical and dominant, and that was one of the keys for us going into this ball game. Defensively, gave up 1 touchdown. And, so I'm really, really proud of our defense. Played a bunch of guys in the defensive line, got 1 senior, so all those guys were sophomores. And, Vic Beasley came up huge for us at the end of the game. It was so good to see him make a huge play for our football team to have a chance to win. But I thought all those guys in the defensive line, got better as the game went. And when the game was on the line in the 4th quarter, that last drive, they were dominant. And I was really proud of them. Gave a game ball, first of all, to Joey Batson, because our guys could have played all night. They were in shape. They were strong. I think we had over 90 plays. I know there were some penalties, probably took some of those off, but they never flinched. And the credit to that goes to Joey Batson and our strength staff. I can't tell you how proud I am of the job they did in preparing our football team to come back to work for fall camp. And then the other game ball went to Brent Venables. And just really appreciative of the great job he's done. Really, really proud of the relationship that he's developed with our players, the trust that they have in him. And again, I thought you saw a very, very gutsy performance tonight. Had our backs up against the wall many times, but came up big in a lot of ways. So, with that, very proud of our team, our coaches, our managers, our trainers, our secretaries, our equipment people, our video people, for the great job they did. All right, and with that, I'll take the questions.
All right, right here. We'll start here.
Coach, I know that you knew you had to suspend Sammy, but was there ever in your mind a question about how your guys would respond to it? Because I'm sure they wanted him to play in a game like this.
Well, I mean, it really was irrelevant how they would respond. It was a decision, so they had to respond the right way, and they did. I mean, it wasn't something they had a choice in. So, I've said many times that we had to fill that void, collectively as a group, and I thought that our guys did that. I mean, again, our offensive line helped fill that void. Our quarterback played great. Our running backs played great. Our other receivers made some big plays, and we had some drops and some disappointing in a few of those, but guys stepped up and filled the void for Sammy. Obviously when he's on the field, he impacts the game in a lot of ways, even when he don't have the ball. But I'm proud of those guys for picking up the slack.
Okay, we'll go right here.
The game mean as close as it was in the first 30 games. What did you talk to me about halftime?
Well, kind of what I just said there. I went over kind of a recap, and I said basically, hey, we just lost the first half to Clemson, but the good news is we have the lead against Auburn. If we can clean up some of these things that we're having issues with, I mean, we jump off sides on 4th and 1, going forward on the goal line. 12 men on the field takes us out of field goal range. Critical 2 major drops that we have to settle for field goals. 2-minute right at the end of the half, we huge play to Newt that may score, and we're not set. Jumped off sides. I mean, just some critical mistakes. And so with all of that, we still had the lead. So the message was, hey, let's win the second half and you're going to win the game. Don't beat yourself. You're in a good position right here. Just keep battling and, handle adversity, and we'll win it in the end. And they did.
Right here.
Are you proud to get this one for the ACC?
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud to get it for Clemson, most of all, but yeah, I mean, it's great for our conference, but it don't really mean anything in September. I mean, I've said that before the game. I mean, NC State lost last night, but what does that mean? Heck, they may win the rest of them. Who cares? It's really going to be determined at the end of the year. Well, great. We carried the banner tonight. We had a huge win, but we got a whole season to play. So it's really nothing more than that. But absolutely, I mean, it's great to win on this stage, and and create some positive energy in our conference, hopefully, and some positive energy certainly, for our season and our football team.
Right here.
Anticipated 528 yards of total offense. That seems like an extraordinary number this early in the year.
Well, I think we got a very talented group of players in the offensive line. The only thing I was not sure of was how some of the guys were going to step up and perform on game day. Because all I had to go on was practice. Now, they practiced well. David Beasley won the job at left guard. Give Timothy won the job. Shatley never played offensive line in a game until tonight. And so, you're going to play Auburn. It's not like you're playing whoever. This is a very talented football team 24 months removed from being the national champion. With a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, a lot of toughness, a lot of heart from a great conference. And so how would those guys respond? But as far as my expectation is to be the best offense in the league. I think we got great players. But would we go and perform at the level and to the standard that we've set? And we didn't do that all. If we again 528 yards, and that's great. But what did we leave out there? Think about all we left. Things that we control. That if we can eliminate, then we can be a really, really good offense.
Coach, you got to be proud of. Andre hasn't been 100% healthy in like 2 years, and the guy comes out tonight and has just a monster game. You got to be pretty happy for him, I would imagine.
Well, they all have a word. One of the things we talked about this year is, I wanted them to have a word. Whatever it is, I wanted each one of them to just have a word for themselves, something that they could focus on throughout the year, whatever it may be. And you know what his word is? Relentless. That's his word. That's what he chose. And if you want to know the definition of relentless, just watch the game tape from tonight on 23. He was relentless. He was relentless. It was just an awesome thing to see, and it's very gratifying to see him get off to that kind of start and gain that kind of confidence early in the year.
Right here.
You've got a young team, but you got great leadership tonight. Can you talk about some of the guys that have stepped up and are doing a good job of being your leaders this year?
Yeah, we do. We have 11 seniors and 11 juniors. And those guys have provided great leadership. But we have, I think, developed some really strong leaders in that sophomore group as well. Grady Jarrett, Deshaun Williams, Stephon Anthony, just to name a few. Sammy is a great leader for us, even though he wasn't here tonight. But our seniors, I'm so proud of those guys. I told them last night they got 90 days. They got 3 months. And their dash is written. When they got here and when they left, and that legacy is going to be there. And to see them get off to the kind of start that they did tonight is very gratifying, because they have given tremendous leadership. Our attitude, our work ethic has just been awesome. And if we'd have lost the game, that wouldn't have changed. These guys have just been solid, solid as people, and they're about the right things. So I'm awful proud of those guys, and really glad that we got at least 3 more months to spend with those 11 special seniors.
Okay, back in the back.
Coach, can you talk about your experience opening the season here in the kickoff game with the bowl-like atmosphere, and what excited you about playing a game like this?
Well, it was awesome. Unfortunately, I was in it one other time as an assistant. It wasn't near as good an experience as tonight, playing Alabama. But it's a great opportunity for our football team. Again, Chick-fil-A, Gary Stoker, they just do an awesome job of promoting this game. People have been talking about this game since last year, and it's just been phenomenal. I think it's created a bunch of energy in our fan base and a bunch of excitement. It really brought a sense of urgency to our fall camp. Openers are always big, but when you got a chance to take the stage in front of millions of people in a venue like the Georgia Dome, and that's another thing. These people, whoever manages this place, it's amazing what they've been able to manage here. I know there's been a lot going on the last few days, but you'd never know it. When we walked out there in Auburn, the same thing. What a first-class operation and facility that both teams had to play in tonight. Just a special opportunity. And Auburn, on that note, listen, they got a good football team. I was very impressed with their running a game and what they're trying to do there. I think that they will really go on to have a heck of a season. I don't have any doubt about it. And You know, this has been a really tough series the last 3 years playing these guys. I got a lot of respect for their program, and hopefully they're all healthy and have a safe trip back, and will go on and have a great season as well.
Okay, back here.
And what else will show tonight? That show what's up from the All-American, from the All-American back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his ability to stay on his feet, finish runs, you know, just great toughness, and again, just the relentless pursuit of doing his best. You know, that's what we talk about. That's our standard, is best, and he was chasing that all night. Really gutsy performance by him, and you know, here's a guy coming off of a difficult. You know, his last game was one to forget. You know, everybody remembers we're getting ready to go in and take the lead in Miami on a layup, and next thing you know, the ball goes 100 yards the other way and points the other way, and look out. And so to see him come back tonight and finish plays like he finished was special. You know, but he had a full spring, he had a full summer, and nothing he did tonight surprised me. Nothing. It's just good to see him get off to that kind of start.
All right, let's go right here.
Coach, on that note, I'm not sure you're aware of this, but you guys have been something in the punching bag since the Orange Bowl. You probably haven't heard any of that, though. What does it say about your program, the response that you guys have tonight?
You know, I don't really pay any attention to that stuff. You know, I laugh at when people always bring up the Orange Bowl. We lost 4 games last year. People act like that's the only game we lost. We're not happy about any of them. And yeah, it was a tough night, but that was last year, you know. And again, we have good coaches, good support people, and we got great young men, and they choose to you know, listen to the right things. They're about the right things, and you know, all they did was go back to work. And what good teams do is they learn and grow from success and failure that you had in the previous season. I mean, we had the best season we'd had in 20 years at Clemson last year. We had nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, we had one game that got away from us, and it's disappointing. But, you know, you respond. That's what champions do. You just respond. We had Evander Holyfield came in and spoke to our team last night. It was awesome. The champ. And one of the things he talked about last night that stuck with me was, you know, he's the only 5-time heavyweight world champion ever. And he talked about he got beat 11 times. But then what did he do? He'd come back. You know, that's what champions do. And, you know, so, you know, that's, the lesson is you don't sit around and worry about what other people say or think. You believe in yourself. You choose to have a great attitude. You choose to, you know, be honest with yourself. And, you know, just go get better. That's what these guys did in the offseason. And again, all we know is we were better than Auburn tonight. That's all we know about our team. We don't know anything else. We got a long way to go. If we'll keep improving, if we'll learn from these mistakes and keep applying those lessons, then we got a chance to be a good football team. But as I said coming into this game, I don't think we're really going to know who we are as a team. Probably going to be 3 or 4 weeks. You know, we still got a lot of evaluation to do with a bunch of these guys.
Coach, it would seem that of all the positives tonight, maybe the biggest one is the fourth quarter. I mean, when you needed to grind it out, you did it.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to Joey Batson. They could have played a 5th quarter. I mean, you know, I don't know how many. What do we have? We had to have close to 90 snaps. 87 snaps. Does that count the penalties? No. We had a bunch of them, so we probably snapped it 100 times in all the penalties we had. But you know, it's a real credit to those guys and how they prepared their bodies and the way we've practiced. You know, our guys have practiced the right way. So, you know, it was really good to see them win the game in the 4th quarter, you know, against a very, very tough team in a tough environment. Again, it was a gutsy win.
All right, time for one more. Anybody? We'll go right here.
When you got the lead in the 4th quarter and you got the stop, did you feel pretty good that the offense could close it out after that?
Yeah, you know, there was a huge 3rd down conversion on that drive, and Taj Boyd with his legs was the difference. I mean, he made some huge plays, and that's what great quarterbacks do. They find a way to lead their team to victory. and that's what he did. But yeah, I felt like we could win the game, especially with the way we were controlling the front. You know, it's the hardest thing for us to do is slow down. You know, that's when chaos breaks out on our sideline, when we're trying to slow down and not snap the ball with 30 seconds left on the clock there. But our guys did a good job. You know, I was disappointed at the end there with Taj. Kind of lost track at the clock. You know, he's milking it, and then we dadgum get a penalty. But anyway, they overcame that, and Catman came in and kind of sealed the deal. I felt like that, you know, with no timeouts, for them to go the distance against us was going to be a tough chore. We work every Wednesday. You know, we do 2 minute, and we worked it a lot in camp. But every Wednesday, in you know, minute 30, touchdown to beat you, no timeouts. That's one of our scenarios. We work a bunch. Offense don't win that one a whole lot, and that's our motto. Is, you know, defense wins 2 minutes, and that's what they did tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank y'all.
Players are still